I was gonna say, Turtle Wow doesn't normally take that long to load, so I was like, this is gonna crash, and it 100% crashed. Kind of funny. Of course it's not valid. It is valid. Hey, what's up, Ripo? Just leveling a stupid warrior here. The Protection Warrior. See if we can get this warrior up to a respectable level. How about a bullet in the back? I almost feel kind of bad shooting. It's only a video game, and I feel bad shooting somebody in the back. Shadow Moon Oil. Oh, Shadow Moon Ore. I thought it said Shadow Moon Oil. I was like, ooh, oil. Oil's cool. I gotta get to level. I need 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more levels. 22. We gotta get to level 22 as fast as possible. Fast as fuck, boy! Which means we should be doing quests. I think Dark Shore is going to be much faster than this. Let's turn these quests in. Let's hit Dark Shore. Unless I'm going to try to take out these mobs, but maybe I can get a group. Let's see if this guy wants to do a group. Invite. Group? He declined my invitation. Bastard. How dare he? What's up, Outpost? Alright, yeah, I don't think I want to do this. I don't want to do this quest. I want Dark Shore. Dark Shore!
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
The grind is real.
Can I help you? What can I do for you? Have a good one.
Benny Blanco, Benny Blanco. Probably die trying to kill both of them. Probably. Benny Blanco hits pretty hard. Oh wait. Here comes Benny Blanco. Thought he was in combat with somebody. I saw he was like, shit,
You
we're
can
gonna
kiss your ass
take a
goodbye.
healing potion here. No. Oh, he reset. I guess I didn't have to take a healing potion. Benny Blanco. That was kind of strange. I wonder if there was somebody fighting him, and I think what happened is somebody ran in there and he got killed. Of course, now I use my healing potion, so now I definitely know I can't take him out. Somebody's going to come in here and kill Benny Blanco. We just have to wait for the right moment. The hell? Why is that mob like, it looked like he was on top of the roof or something. Very strange. Ooh. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice. Benny Blanco. I was right. That poser dude did go in here and get killed. All right. Coyote steak. Charred wolf meat. Roasted boar meat. Warrior's a little slow. Once I get to 20, we get dual wield. It makes it gives us slightly different, more options, and we can switch between dual wield, sword and board, and two-hand weapon. I wonder. It's a talent calculator. So right now we are 5 points into cruelty and 3 here. Hmm. 20 rage. I always like the idea of improved thunderclap, but I know it's probably still going to be garbage. But I'm still going to probably test it out. Because if we put 3 points in, it'll be 16 rage to cast, which is not a lot of rage, and it will do 60% more damage, which really only is going to be 16 damage. But we will get probably our next rank of thunderclap. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some rest time. Well, here, but let's just check real quick. I hate running away from our rest time, but I just want to see what our next rank of Thunderclap is. Thunderclap rank 2 is level 18, and then Thunderclap rank 3 is level 28. Okay, so level 18. It is 23 damage, so 3 talent points into that is going to be 60%. So that's what's 23 times 60%? Well, I mean, 10 is going to be 6, so 16, 32. So we're looking at 34 damage per thunderclap. Which, and then like a rogue strike is probably 50 to 100. Yeah. If we went with, what if we went with a cleave build? I think we might have to do like a dual wield. I'd like to do a dual build on this character. I'd like to do some sort of a really cool cleave build, and I would like to do the protection build. I'd like to have both builds. I think the brainwashing device is pretty expensive though, isn't it? Let's see. The brainwashing device allows us, I believe, to have multiple talent trees. I think 2, right? I think. How much of my credits do we have? Let's buy it. Let's get it. All right, brainwashing device. Okay, the brainwashing device. I don't know what this is gonna do. I'm hoping it gives us 2 talent trees. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. Okay, so save first specialization, save second, and then reset my talents. By third, we could actually have 3 specializations. It'll cost 300 gold. but with this, I think now we have 2. Take the device in both hands. Okay, so let's save for specialization. Not really sure what that did. Activate for specialization. This is some crazy pay-to-win shit, dude. So the brainwashing device allows you to have dual talents, or dual. What is it called? I can't. My brain's not working. It allows you to have 2 talent trees, right? 2 talents, but 2 talent builds. I don't know why my brain's screwing up right now. I'm tired. But anyways, so we have. Okay, so we have. I don't want to save. I want to hear active. It says activate first specialization. What I want to do is I want to activate my second one without like using any talent points. Save. Activate. Here, activate first specialization. Okay, so now can I activate second? Scrambled brain detected. No talent changes allowed while you're thinking in circles. I have no idea what that means. I don't know what that means. I guess I'm on some sort of cooldown? 10 minutes. You gave the goblin brainwashing machine a spin, and now you're not sure if you're a mage or a murloc. I just want to get it to where I can have 2 talent specializations. Dual spec, basically. Because what I want to do is I want to set up a cleave spec, and I want to set up a protection spec. We don't have all our toys yet. We still got to buy another one. I'm rapidly running out of credits, though. But we need the field repair bot. You got to have the field repair bot, right? I think the field repair bot is probably one of the most useful toys you can get. Well, we'll go without it for now and see if we can get how long we can go without it. The cape. Can't really see the cape when I've got a shield equipped. The Undercity cape. Very cool. The Horde cape. Stormwind cape. What's this one? This is the Thunderbluff cape. Dark Spear, Darnassus. No More Gone. Dunmore Mountaineer Hood. Okay. The Black Mage Weave blindfold. That would be kind of, I'm not going to lie, that would be kind of strange with me running around with a blindfold on. We'd be the blind warrior. That could be kind of interesting. Now, I don't know if when you get this, it's a binds one pickup head. 150. We're going to get it. Oh, what good are credits if you don't use them, right? There it is. We now are the blind warrior. Worth 150 credits? Totally not, but who gives a shit? I was feeling very spend-thrifty today. Let me check. Where? Actually, the blindfold looks... I'm not going to lie. I thought the blindfold looked pretty cool. I think the blindfold looks pretty cool on this character because of her hair, the way her hair is. We're the blind warrior. Let me put this picture in the Discord. Oh, man. Throw out chat. I am the blind warrior. So cheesy. Alright, let's go to Dark Shore. Who's challenging me to a duel? Was it a mage? I can't use my gun.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, I missed. I missed. I think I missed. Oh, I couldn't charge. Oh, I couldn't get in there. What sucked is at the very beginning of the duel, I tried to charge and she got me into combat too quick, so I couldn't charge. I wonder if I. Oh, once I have intercept, then we would have a better chance. That was funny. Oh, that was a shitty duel, but that was still fun. We almost won. I just would have got the charge off at the beginning, I would have won. She was intimidated by the blind warrior, though. She saw the blind warrior coming at her, and she was scared. I mean, let's not lie. If you saw this thing coming at you, if you saw this blind warrior on a raptor coming at you, you'd be scared too. Look at that lone tree up there on the mountainside. Very cool. You see the guild? We just went past a character and their guild name was Blizzard Legal Team. Actually, where am I going? We want to go to... Oh, I forgot. We can just go to the harbor. I always forget that we can just go to the harbor. To the harbor! I'm so used to the old vanilla WoW, the non-turtle version. Where is everybody in the Discord, man? Like in the chat. Where's Volstay? I haven't seen him much lately. All right, let's try it again. The brainwashing device. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this. This is a dual specialization, dual spec. I don't really understand it. Like I don't want to save my current talents as my second specialization. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about if I do that, then I have to pay a gold to reset. Like activate. I mean, we already have the first specialization activated. Oh, it's a 10-minute cooldown. Well, let's just hit save and see what happens. I'm going to assume that it's going to... Yeah, see, it's bullshit. So what sucks is they didn't give me basically a free respec. When I got the... I was hoping I'd get the free respec, meaning that I would activate the second spec and there would be no talent points applied, but that's not the way it works apparently. So it looks like you have to respec both trees, I'm assuming. Which is kind of... But then that doesn't make any sense, because then if you put talent points in one tree and you activate, because there's no activate one, activate the other. Like this, I don't understand how this thing works, man. I need to talk to somebody. Who knows how the brain washing device works? Because I have some questions. Apparently nobody wants to be helpful. Or maybe nobody knows. Let's take a look on YouTube. Turtle WoW brain washing device. Let me guess, this guy doesn't speak English?
So, da sind wir wieder. Und
So great, I found a video about it, but the guy doesn't speak English.
hier mit einer neuen Folge aus dem Turtle Wow Universum. Und zwar soll es wieder mal gehen um das Thema, wie funktioniert eigentlich. Und dieses Mal geht es um das Goblin Brainwashing Device, also das kleine Spielzeug, womit man die Möglichkeit hat, zwischen zwei Specs hin und her zu schalten.
Or hoping to take it. I could do that, but I don't understand how, like, because normally you would expect that they'd be independent of each other. For example, I'd be able to respec one talent tree versus having to respec both at the same time. Because how do I have two talent specs then? Like, it said activate first talent spec. Well, the first talent spec was already activated. So when I activated the second one, all it did was make a sound like it activated. But then when I went to my talents, it was the exact same talents I had on my first spec. So how do I make them different? You know, maybe let's watch this video and see if he explains it.
Ohne jedes Mal immer wieder zum Trainer zu laufen. Und ja, ein paar Fragen beziehungsweise.
Okay, so yeah, so that may be the only way it works. Well, here's the thing: the bad part about that means that when you buy the goblin brainwashing device, you can't. Normally, the way it works, right? In World of Warcraft, when you buy dual specialization and you switch to your new specialization that you just purchased, it's empty. Okay, it's blank, and you can apply whatever talent points that you have into it. That doesn't seem to be the way it works here. So, for example, if I'm the level I am now, which is level 17, I had 3 talent points applied here, and I had 5 here, so I had 8 talent points total. But when I bought the brainwashing device and tried to activate the second talent spec, it didn't activate it with no talent points applied. It activated it with all the talent points applied, basically mimicking my first talent spec. So basically, I don't get that free respec, so to speak. So what I'm wondering is that if I go and I drop the, I paid a respec or whatever. Is it, like you said, just going to respec the one that's active? I hope so. Anyways, I'll be right back. I'll be right back, AFK for a second. You have to push the reset talent option, then click save second talents. Well, what I did was, okay, here's what I did. I bought the device, Mike. Then I bought the device. I opened it up. I hit save. I hit activate first spec. This is the first thing I did, which was already active anyway. And it made a sound. And then I said, and then I couldn't do anything. And I don't know. Fuck it. You have to push reset talent option, then click save. Well, so yeah, so you got to pay then. You got to pay, Mike. So basically, what I'm trying to say is you don't get like a free spec. Like when you buy the Goblin brainwashing device and you activate it, you can't get to that you can't get to your dual spec. You can't get to the second spec and apply talent points because it will automatically be the talent points you have in your first spec. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's kind of annoying. I didn't expect it to work like that, which kind of sucks because now you got to pay a gold, which is not a big deal, but you got to pay a gold to respec. Now, when you're saying, okay, I don't even understand what you're saying. You're saying you have to push reset talent option, which is going to cost 1 gold, by the way. If you push reset talent, it's going to reset whatever tree you're on, right? So if you push reset, it's just going to reset your talent tree 1. Yeah. So basically, when you push the button to reset the talents, does it reset both trees or does it just reset the tree you're on? I'm assuming it just resets the tree you're on. Yeah. The reason I was a little bit confused is that normally the way it works in World of Warcraft is when you buy a secondary talent spec, you can just switch to it, and then you can go ahead and assign whatever talent points you have for the current level that you are. But that doesn't seem to work like that here. So, and the other thing that's weird is it doesn't say. It didn't say activate. It doesn't say activate second tree. It says save it. So there was no activate. And it didn't even say anything about the second spec at all. Really? It's just kind of weird. So save your first spec. Click respec to it. Then say... Okay. Well, next time it's off the cooldown, we'll do it. Okay? Next time it's off the cooldown, we'll go through it. And you can help me, because I'm still a little confused on it. I'm still a little confused on it. Do I even have a cloak? I think I do, right? What do we have? This? What does it look like? And hey, Vols, did you see I spent some Turtle Walk credits in the most efficient way ever. I purchased the blindfold. I am now the blind warrior. What are rampant weeds? No, it's Wailing Cavern. Balshal Aran. I'm here. Okay, here we go. Here we go, Mike. Right here. We are activating the goblin brainwashing device. Okay. Currently, we have 1 talent spec. I have no idea which talent spec is active. All right. So we go to the brainwashing device. Right now, it says activate first talent spec or activate second. Let's activate. Now, can I activate? Now, when do I reset? Can I activate the second and then reset? So it's just kind of weird. Activate first spec, which says it's 3/5. See, both specs are the same, by the way. See, they both have the same talents. The thing that's confusing is it doesn't tell you which current talent specialization is the one that's active. From here, you have no idea. It shouldn't say activate first, activate second. It should say, if you're on the second one, this option shouldn't exist. And only this one should exist, meaning that you're currently on second. The only option to activate any other spec is the one that you're not currently on. Yeah. Yeah, but which one am I respec? I don't know which spec I'm on. Am I on 1 or 2? Which one am I on? That's what I'm, see what I'm saying? I want to, I would like to know which one I'm respecing. And if I reset, is it going to reset both? See, I don't get it. If I hit reset, does it reset both specs or just the one that's active? It does, but it does matter, right? See, it does matter because it does matter. I mean, it doesn't matter because what if I'm 3/5 here and I just want to reset this one? What if I just want to reset this one? Can I do that? Can I just reset that one? Or does it always reset both of them? It's a simple question. Say, Mike, you're not really helping me here. I'm asking you questions, but you're not giving me answers to the questions I'm asking. Okay, save what? What can I save? I don't need to save anything right now because both the specializations have already been saved, as far as I understand it, right? See, here's the thing that's confusing. These are always here. See where it says save first specialization? This is always here. We don't know if we ever save first specialization because every time we go to this menu, this is always here. Every time we go to this menu, activate for both is always here. I'm a programmer, right? So I want things to actually make sense. This doesn't make any sense. Like the way they have this laid out makes absolutely no sense, right? Like if you are on a specialization, if you currently have an active specialization, a menu option that says activate that specialization, which you're currently on, shouldn't be there. It shouldn't say activate second specialization if you currently already have your second specialization active, because that makes no sense. Why am I activating the one that's already active? And if I can save, right? If I can save, the points are the same. So when it says reset, this doesn't make sense because which one are we resetting? See what I'm saying? Which one are we resetting? All right, well, let's do this. Okay, let's just do reset. Okay, well, reset. I'm just curious if I reset, is it going to reset both? Right? Is it going to reset both? All right. You know what I mean? Is it going to reset both? All right, so I'm going to set reset. So you're saying reset, right? So we're going to hit reset. Okay, well, I can't do anything now because once we reset. Okay, so it did. So we did. Okay, so I think I understand maybe what you're saying. You're saying is, so we reset. So now, I mean, right now we have 8 talent points. We reset our talents. But if the next time it still doesn't make any sense, right? I'm not going to apply any talent points. I'm going to wait till the next time the tool is available. Because what I want to do is I want to go back in and I want to see if it shows if there's any talent points applied to either tree. Or if they're, because you know how it said 0, you know how it said 350 for both? I want to see if it's going to say 000 for both, which really doesn't make any sense. I mean, it just doesn't make, the way they have this just makes no sense. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so here's the thing. Here, it just makes no sense, dude. Here, I'm going to write it out. It's going to be easier if you can see it visually, right? So we have 2 talent trees. We have spec 1, right? Spec 1. We have spec 2, right? We just reset our talents. So the question is, next time I go to this brainwashing device, is it going to say 000 on that one? And is it going to say 000, right? Or is it going to say or is it going to say 000 and then the other one is 3, what it was 50? So next time we go into the brainwashing device, is it going to say this or is it going to say this? Right now I'm on 3rd spec. I can't be on 3rd spec because I didn't purchase 3rd spec. 3rd spec cost 100 gold. I didn't buy 3rd spec. How could I be on 3rd spec? Right now you're on 3rd spec. How could I be on 3rd spec? Okay, so I see what you're saying. I think you're saying that basically both the other 2 specs are still 350. So you're on a temporary 3rd spec until you save it. I think, okay, I get you. I get you. So what it's doing is, I got you. So what it's doing is you've got spec 1, you got spec 2, and then when if you reset, so reset spec, then assign points, right? Then save to either 1 or 2. Save to spec 1 or spec 2. So these are the steps. We have assign points, and now you have to save to either spec 1 or 2. Currently, Yeah, so now it makes sense. It's very strange that they do it this way because there's no instructions on it. Maybe they have it on their website or something. So currently we're going to assume that our specs are this because I think I fucked up and saved it, but currently these are our specs. Right now we have a temporary spec. We're just going to call it temporary spec, which is currently 0, 0, 0, right? And then we're on our term. Right now we're on a temporary spec. Once we assign points here, then we will be able to save it to either spec or 1 or 2. Then once we save it to spec 1 or 2, it'll just overwrite that one. So if I went like 800 and I saved to spec 1, then our specs would be 800 and 350. Okay, I got you. It's just very bizarre. I mean, it's not the way I would have thought that they would have done it, you know. And there's no really description or there's no directions. All right. All right, we are the blind warrior.
Hello.
Yeah. Boss, are you okay, man? Boss, you've been so quiet. I'm worried about you, man. Thank you, Mike. I know it's very difficult trying to tell somebody how to do something over the stream because of the delay. So I know it's frustrating. Plus, it's frustrating because I get frustrated. I get flustered. When I get flustered, I'm pretty hard to talk to, probably sometimes, because I'm like, ah. I'm like, damn it! Why doesn't it work the way I think it should? Thank you for the buff. No touch is allowed while you're thinking in circles. Yeah, it's just confusing. Yeah, because it doesn't work at all like any, WoW thing. We've never had WoW really. Travel north. Okay. Let's go south. We can capture the bear. We can do all this shit, and then we'll have to go back north. And then, do we still? Oh, and then we got to pick up the other quest over here. Well, thank you. I never would have figured it worked that way until you explained it to me that way. I've never in my life would have expected it to work like that. I would have expected kind of like what Val said, that like when I reset the talents, it would have reset it on the tree I'm in, and then when I changed it, it just would have automatically saved it to that one. I don't know. I never. It didn't work the way I expected. So, how do I pick up this quest? I think I have to go to the Buzzbox to get it. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's really... Well, these guys are high enough level. It should be worth doing. It should be worth doing this quest, I think. I'm a little bit high level to be doing Dark Shore, so we got to be a little careful here. I mean, a lot of these quests might not really be worth it. I mean, yeah, these guys are like totally green quests. So how does it... So what I'm thinking, Mike, is that I should be able to assign my talent points for the cleave build, and then save it. What I'm wondering is, okay, no, I think we answered the question already. Never mind. We'll just see what happens when we get there. Infantry lickings of the bear. And multiple crates. You better fish this crate up because you got another one on the other side. Damn, 138? That seems really high, doesn't it? You have to resave your talent points as you level, as the Goblin Brainwasher doesn't automatically. Back in the day, people would abuse unlimited respecs by saving only one talent point. Okay. I think I get what you're saying. You just have to go in and basically save it. Shouldn't cost. So what I'm wondering is, like, if I go in here and I put a point here and then I open up the brainwashing device, I can save it to spec 1, and then spec 1 will just have 1 talent point in this, and then I could then, the next time I bring up the brainwashing device, just open this up and say save to spec 2, and then spec 2 would just have the 1 talent point in Booming Voice. And then if I put 1 point in Cruelty and save to spec 2, then put, no. See, that doesn't, okay, I'm confused again now. How am I supposed to do different specs for different, how am I supposed to independently put points down one path in one and save it in one spec and then do it the other one and save it the other one? You know what I mean? Like how the fuck is that gonna work? Like, I don't know if the specs look like this currently, right? And even if they do look like this, and I go in and I put like 2 talent points in the first tree, and so I'm 5/5/0, and then I say save to spec 1, well then how do I go in and put 3/5/3 and save to spec 2? Like, how do I do that? Is there, okay, so, okay, it's totally confusing. You're gonna have to show me how to do it, because I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Because the reason I don't get it is because this doesn't reset. Like, when I put points in here, that's it, they're there. Unless, because it's not like I want to, you know? This is so confusing, dude. Here, wait. The device is ready. Let's take a look at the device and see. Let's take a look, Mike. It's ready. Let's try to use it. Alright, we're going to open up the device. The confusing as hell device. So what I'm really curious to see is, are there any talent points assigned? According to what you said before, they should be 3/5/0. Which makes no sense, by the way, either. See, here's the thing that's confusing. It says activate first. Okay, so you can't activate a specialization. So these 3/5/0 is really kind of wrong, right? Well, no, they're not wrong. This is so confusing. All right, let's activate. Okay, so here, let me ask you a question. If I want to change the second specialization to be all 8 talent points applied in the arms tree, if I want to change this current specialization, don't activate. If I want to change this specialization to have all points in the arms tree, I just need to go into the arms tree now, assign my 8 points, then go to here, then activate it, right? I'm not sure if that's right. Don't activate? Oh, no? All right, let's do it this way. Here, where's the talent tree? Where's the fucking talent tree? Okay, this is what I want to do, and you tell me how to do it. All I want to do is on the second talent specialization. Actually, let's just say theoretically I wanted to do this. I wanted to make this the build. Like 8 points here, like this. And I want to apply this build to my second talent spec. How would I do that? Like, how would I do that? Do your 8 talents, and then click Save Second Spec. Okay. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure what my build's going to be yet. I got to figure out what my build's going to be. Yeah, I got you. Well, yeah, just this one. Save second spec right here. All right, so first we got to figure out because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create 2 different builds, obviously. Where the fuck did I close the fucking window? Jesus Christ. Where the fuck did it go? Did I literally close the window? Why the fuck would I do that? God, Jesus. All right, so let's say I want to let's say I wanted to do an arms build, and we're going to do, I don't know, let's say do this. Let's say we wanted to do some sort of a cleave build. Let's say we wanted to do this. And I don't even know if I have no idea if this would even be a good build. Like, I don't know what will be, I don't know what's a good cleave build. I've never really done a cleave warrior before. What if, and plus with this new abilities, I mean, you kind of, Master of Arms is what you'd want, right? You want Slam? That's right. I remember you're way better with Warrior than I am. So you want Slam? Okay, so you want Improved Slam then? Reduce the cast time? Because you can cast Slam while moving. Oh, nice. So would you want Improved Heroic Strike over Tactical? I'm thinking if you're going to do Cleave, having the deflection would be nice. You know, getting some more defense while you're like trying to cleave a bunch of targets down, I would think would be pretty useful. The only reason I went down with Ren is because we want the bleed with the cleave, right? So I was thinking probably Improved Heroic Strike. I mean, Would you really want improved heroic strike though with a cleave build? I thought deflection would probably be better, just to get that mitigation. And we want to get this Master of Arms, I would imagine. I like improved Thunderclap because in Turtle WoW, improved Thunderclap actually increases the damage by 60%. So we can actually Thunderclap and do, yeah, you know, do a little bit of damage. I like improved Disciplines. We can do improved Slam, which reduces the cast time. Right? We can do Boundless Anger, gives more rage. More rage is always a good thing, right? If you're going to do improved two-hand weapon specialization, so now you've got 5 talent points left, and you can just go Cruelty, right? Either improved charge or deflection. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking this build. What do you think about this build? So this build, you've got improved charge, you've got deflection. We got 2 points in improved blood rage to give us some more blood rage. I'm not sure if that's the best way to say point those points. I don't know. And then of course Cruelty seems like a no-brainer. And then most of these other talents are really good for cleave. You know, more rage. Your execute's going to do a lot more damage, which is good against, you know, whatever if you need to execute. But I mean, you need to do that to get into Boundless Anger. And then, of course, improved discipline is going to be nice for recklessness, or cooldown of retaliation and recklessness. That would be pretty good, I think. What's up, JR? What do you think about this build, Mike? And keep in mind, I've never played a two-hand cleave warrior in my life, and I'm not even joking. I've never done it. Like, never. I am an arms warrior newbie. I always either go dual wield. I pretty much always go dual wield. Like when I play warrior, I always go fury. So, and we could go. I mean, I'd be a lot more comfortable doing fury just because I'm used to fury. But I don't know what kind of new abilities they have in the fury tree. We've got blood drinker. While affected by enraged, death wish, or recklessness, your melee attacks restore 2% of your maximum health. You need to couple that with bloodthirst. Although bloodthirst doesn't give you any health. You like it, JR? Improve Berserker. Oh, improved improved discipline? Oh, so they gutted? They gutted. Okay. Well, let's not do that. Let's do a spec then that's more along the lines of the way I like to play the warrior. Right? I typically like to play fury, and I know that Volstay was telling me in a battleground he was in that a fury warrior was just wrecking people. So maybe we could go with fury. We could do something like this. 1, 2, 3. Let's just go 5 here, and here, and then go right into here. I don't like blood craze personally. Piercing hound, proof shots. Two-hand fury. I don't like two-hand though. I do not like using two-hand weapons in almost on any character, to be honest. How good is blood craze? Because normally, like in regular vanilla WoW, I always thought blood craze wasn't that great. But I mean, it's 6% of your total health, which I think in regular WoW it's not that much, is it? God, that tree sucks, doesn't it? Oh, this says regenerate 3%. No one uses it? Okay. Like in vanilla WoW, I never used it because I always thought it was garbage. But I mean, here you've got blood. How good is blood drinker though? Blood drinker says. I mean, it's kind of weird. It says 112, so I don't really know if the tooltip's wrong here. It says restore 1/1/2% of your maximum health. Seems like this would be pretty good because it's passive. I mean, you're going to have like Enrage and up quite a bit. Yeah, but this isn't hardcore. Mike, this is not hardcore. This is just a regular warrior. This is a regular non-hardcore warrior, so. What I'm trying to build is just a build that's pretty good for leveling. What we're looking at right now is a leveling build. Two different leveling builds. One's protection. The protection build is more of a PvP protection build for Battlegrounds, just for fun, because I want to try it out. The other build, both the builds should be kind of PvP as well. So we want PvP builds that are decent for leveling. So not hardcore. I mean, here's a two-hand build that would be decent for PvP probably, but this is for dual wielding. But yeah, it's not gonna be good for PvP though. I mean, if you're gonna do a warrior in PvP, you kind of need a two-hand weapon. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. New Pale, yeah. Well, this is about as close to like what I would run for like in regular classic WoW, like vanilla WoW. This is pretty close to what I ran for like Fury, like just dual wield Fury for like leveling, not necessarily for PvP, but leveling. But I mean, we could to get down to Impale, we probably would have to. Now, how good is Master Strike, Mike? How good is Master Strike? Is it worth getting? Because it's such an unusual ability. I mean, it looks fantastic on the surface, right? But a lot of things in Turtle WoW are like that. They look fantastic on the surface, but then when you get them, they're maybe not as good as you think, right? Doesn't do much damage, but gives utility depending on your weapon. Okay. I wanted to do a really crazy rotation with fist weapons. I would have charged in, hit Master Strike with fist weapons, knock people off their feet, switch to a two-hand weapon. When they get up, hit them with concussive blow. And then when they get out of the concussive blow, hit them with fear. So basically they're going to be in like a 6-second CD pretty much. So charge stun into knockdown, into concussive blow, into fear. I don't know if that's even possible. But on paper it sounds like it'd be cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of a, when it comes to arms, I'm a complete noob. Like, when it comes to the arms tree, I am very much a noob. I'm good with Fury tree, and I'm pretty good with protection, just tanking and stuff, but I'm really bad. I'm really bad with any of the arms stuff, because I just never really run it that much. But yeah, that'd be cool. We'll try slam. I mean, I've got a two-hand weapon, but it's not like a great one. You know, we can, once we get dual wield, we can swap between dual wield, sword and board, and two-hand. That was weird. My charge initiated, but I didn't charge. That was weird. It decreases the cast time. Yeah, I think I saw that. It was... You mean, is it a 10? I mean, saying it's a talent, or are you just saying the... Are you just talking about the speed increase? Or are you just talking about flurry? Oh, oh, yeah, you said flurry. Sorry, I misunderstood you, yeah. Yeah, flurry's good. Yeah, flurry. You just meant flurry, yeah, I got you. What do we need? Bachelorun. Yeah. I'm kind of too high level for these quests, but might as well do them. I guess I'm not getting experience. I don't really want to kill mobs if they're gray. We could probably skip Bachelorun and just do the cave. Blood Rage self crits you now, so you can self proc Enrage. So blood, what? So Blood Rage can proc. I'm not sure what you mean. That sounds weird. Blood Rage self crits you now, so you can self proc Enrage. Blood Rage. Oh, you say here the self-inflicted damage is always a critical strike. Okay, so it automatically, so the self-inflicted damage is considered a crit, which automatically, I guess, any crit proc triggers your enrage, huh? Which is going to trigger. I don't understand what, because like flurry triggers after you do a critical strike damage. So what would self crit trigger? Is that, so you're saying it's considered like a critical strike even though it's against you, which is weird. Okay. Okay, so basically it's triggering flurry is what you're saying, right? Okay, that's interesting. We'll test that out once we get yeah, so it sounds like I'm probably going to want to go down the Fury tree, I think. Just because that's kind of what I normally play anyway. Yeah. Oh, it's for Enrage. Okay, yeah. That's been a long time since I played Warrior, man. Sorry, it's been a long time since I played Warrior. You were like, I was thinking of something else. But yeah, I got you. Yeah. I should have just read what you said. It'll be a good learning experience. Like I said, I haven't played Warrior in a while, and I certainly have never really played Arms, but I think we'll come up with something. But now, hopefully, we will, with a brainwashing device, hopefully we'll have two specs to play around with. If I can figure out how that damn thing works. Let's go ahead and do this. I don't know if I want to do this quest or not. Oh, that's a different quest. Find the source of the strange blue aura. What? Oh, is that what it's normally called? Wow, maybe I just never read that quest before. Yeah, these guys are way too low level, though. Yeah, that's all it is. I'm just gonna turn this quest in. I don't think I'm gonna bother doing the follow-up. Yeah, I remember, Mike. You're like the warrior guru. I'm definitely good at leveling hardcore warriors to 60. I've done that multiple times, but I didn't want to. I've got the one hardcore hunter. I didn't really want to do another hardcore warrior. I started at level 1 as hardcore, and then I kind of said, you know what? I just want to get to 60. So. No rage? Come on. Oh, I haven't put my talent points in yet. Alright, it's time to do the... Alright, so let's do this. We're going to go... Brainwashing device. We're going to set our protection talents. Actually, well, no, we had it, right? Cruelty, Unbridled Wrath, Dual Wield, and then Rage. Damn it. I hope that thing doesn't disappear right away. Because it's a 10-minute cooldown. Nah, I can't do that. I don't have... I keep thinking I've got anger fucking management, but I don't. Oh my god. 10 years to kill this mob. Are you kidding me? Alright, so reset. Okay, so 5 points here. If we do the flurry, the build, we should go crit, and then tactical mastery. Here. I still want to try out Improved Thunderclap. What if we did something like this? Let's... many points? Got 6. And then we could go. Ooh, there we go. This would be kind of a fun build. So this gives us a little bit of extra damage with AoE damage with Thunderclap. Kind of a bizarre build. We get the crit with Overpower. We get an extra rage with Charge. We could probably pull Charge out later down the road. I don't know if we would necessarily need it, but yeah, we don't have Blade. We don't have that. Yeah, we need that. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Nox? Did you hit 60, Nox? I didn't even look. You did? Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, dude. You finally made it to 60? So far, you know me, it's going to take me forever because I keep playing too many characters. Alright, well, we got to promote you, dude. I can't promote you. I will promote you, though, on my other character. We'll promote you up to at least 3rd highest rank. I don't know if we'll do the 2nd highest. Right now, the only person I have it's the 2nd highest is what's his name, because he basically created the guild. But first one on Turtle WoW, nice. Yeah, we have. Let's see. Right now we only have one. We got. You are currently a tree friend, and then the only person who's like an officer is Astora, which Garrett, because he's the one who created the guild. But I might promote you to Adventurer. Adventurer is kind of like the officer rank, but you know, we're not really doing any kind of rating or anything. This is just more of a fun guild just for fun. You know how it is. It's just a chill guild. I did create the stupid tabard. It's not the best tabard in the world, but I just wanted to get something that was, you know, that would look decent with whatever kind of armor you put on. So we just went with like a nice little black tabard, something simple, which I think just will look good with whatever kind of armor you put on. And then I went with the blindfold here. So we are the blind warrior. Let me look at this talent tree again really quick. So I'm thinking about maybe doing a build like this just for shits and giggles. I don't know, like I don't really need Piercing Howl. I don't need that. Blood Drinker does sound interesting, but I'm not sure if we really need it. Improved Pummels, you know, it's just good for silencing, which can be useful. It's very useful for getting off interrupts. The only thing is we only got 3 points into Tactical Mastery, which may not be great. I mean, 15 is a pretty good amount of rage when we stance. It should be enough. 3 should be fine. Should be enough. Because Pummel doesn't. It probably takes like what, like 10 or 15 rage. Improved Overpower. We're gonna get plenty of rage. We're dual wielding. We've got Battlefield Mobility, which is nice. We've got Death Wish because we need Flurry. Berserker Rage lets us break free from movement impairing effects when it activates, so that's cool. We don't have Improved Blood Rage, which we're going to miss out, but I guess, you know, it's nice to have Improved Blood Rage. I'm going to miss that. But I'm not sure if Improved Blood Rage is better than Improved Thunderclap. Thunderclap's really only good when I'm attacking like 3 or more mobs, probably. And if I'm dual wielding, I'm not really going to have any cleave unless I pick up Improved Whirlwind. We could still do Whirlwind. It just wouldn't be on the improve. It just wouldn't be on the reduced cooldown. And like I said, we could eventually, when we get high enough level down the tree and Fury, we might not even need Improved Charge anymore, just simply because. But I don't know if we'll be able to back out. We can't really back out of it though, because we needed to get down to Impale. So, anyways, I think this would be kind of just a fun little build to try out. So what we're gonna do, I think, no matter which tree we go with, we're definitely gonna start off with. Probably should start off with Cruelty right off the bat. So Cruelty, and then go into Arms and flesh out Arms first, and then we'll get back into Fury. Unless we went into Fury right off the bat, going for Embrow Wrath, but I don't think so, because we really need Tactical Mastery. So let's do this. Let's go Cruelty, Arms. We're gonna go Tactical Mastery. How many points we got left? We got 0 talent points. Okay, now we got these, and now we want to apply this to save. I guess save first specialization, I guess. Or how about save? I mean, this is the same anyway. This is the same build I had anyway, so we're just gonna say save. I mean, it's already the exact same build. It's just, yeah, I know it's the same spec, but it's, well, okay, well, it is the same spec, but see, they're both going to be the same. Like, both specs I have are going to have those talents, right? Because there's the defense, because the defensive one's going to be the same, right? Yeah. What I'm saying is, here's the difference. When I go to the down the defensive tree, it's going to be this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And eventually it's going to be something like this. You know, we're going to be going down this way. Whereas when we're going to Flurry, we're not going to have anything in defense, and we're not going to have 5 out of 5 here. We're only going to have 3 here because we're going to be going down to improve rend. So, yeah, so we don't really need to change anything yet. So yeah, there we had our, we were able to switch into, get our shield bash off because of our, because we have 3 points into tactical mastery. Yeah, so really what we want to do, here's the part that I don't, well, yeah, we're not going to save these talents yet. We're just going to build this out into Fury, and then we'll save it to the second talent. You want me to change my shield bash macro? What? Why do you want me to change my shield bash macro? Oh, really? Okay. Let's take a look. Well, it should be, yeah. Okay, I didn't know you could use it in battle stance. Okay, so what we need to do is change it to, it should just be form 1, right? So I think what it should be is form 1. But actually, I don't even think we need a macro for it. The only problem is, the only time we'd ever need a macro to switch stances is if we're in Berserker stance, but if we're in Berserker stance, we're not going to do it. Yeah, so we don't need this. We don't need a dance macro for shield bash, because if I'm in Berserker stance and I want to interrupt, I'm just going to pummel. Right? Exactly. So we don't even need to use this. What we're going to do is we're just going to go in and create a regular, like a regular macro, like you know, like this. We'll just say new macro here, cancel. The one thing that we do need to do is that we do need to make sure that we have the right weapons equipped, though. Right? Why is that fucked up? I hope I didn't just do that. Okay. So we do want this in our macro. So let's go here. New character macro. We're going to go shield bash. Yeah, but you're right. I didn't need that. It's changing stances in the shield bash. Where is... Yeah, we don't need the stance. What we're going to do is we're just going to go in here. We're going to say /use shield bash. And then we're going to save this. We're going to replace that. Right? And then we're going to also add in our clear errors so we don't see any red text. If we spam the keybind, we don't want to see any red text, so we're going to do that, save. And then we can also take this, put it here, and let's go into battle stance. And we're going to replace that. All right, let's try it. Let's make sure that's right. Actually, let's go into, let's just delete the other one so there's no confusion. This one here, we don't need this one. Delete that. Okay, cool. All right, it's going to charge. All right. Flip. Okay, it didn't shield bash, and I had plenty of rage, so what the fuck? Did you see that? Okay, so the macro's not working. I must have misspelled the ability wrong or some shit. I must have misspelled the... What is the skill name? I must have misspelled something. Hold on a second. Shield bash. The fuck? Equip, use... Yeah, well, use works. I'm wondering... Yeah, no, I was using cast. You're right. Let's try cast. Yeah, that might be it. That could be it. Thank you. There we go. That's all it was. Okay, looks like the other macros are working fine. Looks like our other macros are working as expected. Moonstalker fangs. Here we go. Let's grab this. We'll grab the Moonstalker, but let's first get our rabid Thistlebear out of the way. Okay, perfect. And that guy grabbed the Moonstalker I was going to kill. You bastard! Just for fun, shield block. It's like the worst. I always say, Mike, don't ever watch me play warrior. Like, don't take what I do as a warrior correctly. Like, I do not play warrior correctly, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to play warrior. It just means that I will use skills in certain situations that are not optimal. Like, I'll use Thunderclap just for fun because I like to use it, even though it's not what you should use if you're trying to kill them out fast. Just rage dump your heroic strike. Just whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know what Roid macros is. Yeah, I mean, I have it on certain macros are going to have start attack already. Like some of my macros are going to have that already, right? Like here, you can see heroic strike. I'm using the old school one, which basically says this current action, then use current action. This is basically just going to start auto attack. just so long as you have, you know, the auto attack in slot 37 on my action bars. But you really don't even, I really don't even need this. I could do /script start attack, which would be, let's see. I'm sure I've got it in here somewhere. You can do this one here, right? So if I take this down here, right, this one, and then I drag this off, right? So these macros both do the same thing. They both start attack, but they do it in different ways, right? So if I move up to this, if I go up to this plane stride or whatever, use fledgling, and I hit this key, right, it's going to target the nearest enemy and put me into auto attack. If I do the same other keybind, it's going to do the same thing. But they're different macros, but they do the same thing. One is saying if not use current action 37, then use action 37, because on slot 37 over here, I've got the auto attack, you know, the skill out of the spellbook. And the other one is basically saying /script if not player frame in combat, then attack target. So they both do the same thing. So you can add this script or this code, either one of these, into Heroic Strike. I've chosen to use the /script if not as current action, just because I'm old school. But you don't have to do that. You could, you know, so you could do, but it just depends on what abilities I want to do it on, right? Like for example, like, you know, like Shield Bash. I mean, if you want to put auto attack in here, we can, right? Which you probably, it just seems strange that your first attack would be Shield Bash in an encounter, but yeah, you could. And charge, like charge, I don't have it, but I think charge puts you in combat already. Let me see. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it does. I'm hoping it does. Yeah, see, charge puts you into combat already, so you don't need it. But I could add to Shield Bash, just because if you were switching targets. But again, a lot of these abilities, I don't know. We got enough rage. Let's try it. Let's walk up to a mob, and let's Shield Bash them, and see what happens. Yeah, see, it puts you into, you know, it puts you into attack, right? There is a, when you use charge, where you use charge but cancel auto and it won't put you in combat. Oh, I self-target. I just do that with self-target. See, well, here I can show you. I can do that. You don't need to, you just self-target. Like, so if I charge this dude, here, I'll have to kill these guys first. Right, so if I want to charge this Strider here, right? See, I just charge him and then I target myself. And see, I didn't get into combat with him. Right, so I don't need any special, and I don't need any special thing to cancel attack or anything like that. Yeah, so because my shift middle click targets me, right? So yeah, I can still do that. The one problem with Turtle Wow with this client is when you charge, it like stops you for some reason. Like it stops your movement, so you have to kind of like, it's kind of janky, right? So if I'm using charge to travel, I have to charge, target myself, and then I kind of have to see how I jump straight up in the air. So it's a little janky, but you can still do it. One thing that is annoying is like, you know, like in retail, I have audio alerts that trigger to let me know when overpower procs, and I don't have that here, so I have to just, that's why I've got this overpower icon right here, because it won't show on this macro. This won't light up as like usable. See how it looks like it's usable right now? Well, it really isn't, right? But this shows that overpower is not usable because it isn't usable. This one makes it looks like it's usable, but it's not usable. So that's why I have to put overpower in there. And also, I do have a trigger in MSBT that shows up, but it's just text. So it's kind of annoying, right? So there's still a lot of things in the 1.12 client that are really not optimal, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? So, like, you'll see if overpower procs, like... And if I could figure out how to create these, I could do some other ones. But if we go to triggers here, you can see I've got a trigger here for overpower. But if you edit the trigger, it's crazy. Like, I mean, look at this craziness. It's like search pattern, interface, icons, ability, melee damage. I mean, okay. And then search pattern, VS, dodge, self-other. Search pattern 2, spell, dodge, self-other. So if I know what the patterns are... Like, so what I'm saying is this is for overpower. But what if I want to have one for, I don't know, like, trying to think of another skill that isn't in here. Like maybe Reckoning or something. What if I want Reckoning to show up? And then we don't have audio in here. Unfortunately, this version of Mixed Scrolling Battletext doesn't allow us to assign audio events to triggers. Which really sucks because having audio events set up makes you don't have to look at the UI. Like I don't ever look at my health. Like if you look at my frame here, there isn't one audio event in this version of MSBT which is low health. So I never have to look at my health because I have an audio alert that triggers when I'm at a certain percent. If I didn't have that, I would probably die all the time because I'm so used to having that. I've just played WoW so long where I'm used to having an audio alert for low health, but I also, what I do is I set up audio alerts for lots of other things normally, like in a regular vanilla WoW client, like Reckoning. I don't have audio alerts for Reckoning, but I have text that appears in certain parts of the screen that I can colorize and I can place them wherever I want. And it's just a lot more powerful. So it's really frustrating in this client. We don't have that, so it's just the way it is, man. Yeah, hopefully that fixes that, and hopefully Turtle WoW doesn't get shut down. You know. Mad Season, whatever. That guy's really weird. That Mad Season show, Snow, whatever. In his video, he kind of alluded to the fact that he feels like Turtle WoW will be shut down. If you watch his video, I don't think that'll happen. I think worst case scenario that certain team members on the team might end up getting screwed or leaving the project. I really can't take two of these guys at once, I don't think. Well, I might be able to do it. If overpower is considered a buff. If it's considered a buff, but I don't think overpower is considered a buff. Right? Like here, because I've got power auras, right? Like you see this little aura here, right? You see this little this little red chevron right here means that I currently have Battle Shout up, right? So that's power auras. And I can change that to lots of different things, right? But it's a buff. If overpower was considered a buff, but I don't think it is, I could set up an aura to show up on the screen to let me know that it's available. But like I said, I don't believe it's considered a buff. But Marceline VQ modified. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. If we, yeah, if it works, that'd be cool. I mean, I think I've installed it before, but I think it wasn't like super easy to configure, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I haven't played with it, but I mean, I installed it once before. I don't know if it was that exact version, but I definitely have installed modified Power Wars before in an attempt to try to get them, you know, to get it working. So. America started wars for corporations, and he's right about the RICO. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I still, even if it was RICO, even if they kind of went with the RICO thing, I still would be hesitant to. Basically, his argument was there was somebody that was like in some sort of house in Russia or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not a big fan of Mad whatever's fucking YouTube. I mean, I don't dislike the guy, but just the fact that I think he said he would never play Turtle WoW. I don't like people that take the hard stance of like, oh, it's a private server, it's illegal, so I'm never gonna play it. I don't really agree with that, because to me, yes, it is a private server. It is kind of against the TOS, but the thing is, the reason it exists is because Blizzard is letting down their player base by not giving people what they want. And it's not like they don't know. It's not like they couldn't do it. Well, maybe they can't do it. Blizzard has, in my opinion, abused the WoW community for about the past 10 years. Basically just been greedy and just used them for monetary purposes, and hasn't really given people what they really want because they've just been lazy. They're just like lazily putting out content, the bare minimum. You know, they're just doing the bare minimum. You know, so I don't think. You know, my point is that it's not surprising that private servers exist, because Blizzard isn't giving people what they want. I don't want to play WoW anymore. I mean, I've said this many times. I like World of Warcraft, sure, but I would like me. I'm playing this right now, and it's fun, but I would have a lot more fun playing a new MMO, something new, because I've played WoW since 2004, since beta in 2004. So Turtle WoW is cool because there's lots of new stuff, but even though there's still a lot of new stuff, I'm still doing the same shit I've done in vanilla WoW for, you know, the past, you know, 10 years or longer. So the way I look at it is I'm much more excited to play a new MMO. There just isn't any good MMOs that are out right now. But that'll change. Eventually there will be something new. And Blizzard too, like, if an MMO comes out and it's really good, like really good, Blizzard will lose a ton of people, right? Like a lot of people. Like, the problem is there really hasn't been anything that's come out that's been that good, you know? Yeah, I saw that video where he said he wouldn't play Turtle WoW just because he didn't want to lose his time, you know, played in the game. But I mean, Turtle WoW has been going for like 8 years now, I think, at least. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, well, perfect example is when Asmongold played Final Fantasy, I mean, a ton of people left WoW to go play Final Fantasy. I mean, Asmongold kind of helped because he's a big draw, obviously, right? I missed my shield bash miss there. Yeah, my shield bash wasn't available.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Holy shit, really? Yeah, that one landed at least. And there's a lot. If you guys haven't watched Lazy Peon's video, and I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to log out here for a minute. Actually, let's just log out here. This is fine. What's our rest time? 1:17. Yeah, we're fine. So if you guys haven't watched Lazy's video, there's quite a few MMOs that are coming, right? And some of them, there's a couple that look pretty decent.
It's been about a...
So we've got Chrono Odyssey, which I played, and I actually really liked Chrono Odyssey. It had a lot of flaws to it, but there were a lot of good things in Chrono Odyssey. I'm just really concerned that due to the Care Bear community who's crying about certain things about the game being too difficult, that they're making changes to make the content easier. I'm worried that they're just going to do like what a lot of MMOs do, which is listen to the stupid Care Bears and nerf the content to the point that it's just too easy. In which most MMOs, like I've said before, most MMOs are too easy to begin with. And that's one of the major reasons why I think MMOs, at least from my personal opinion, that they don't hold interest to a lot of players is because they're just, they're not difficult enough. They're just kind of like a time sink. How good you are at an MMO a lot of times just comes down to, well, how much time are you putting into it? And I think there should be more to it than just that. So, but anyways, Chrono Odyssey, I'm interested, but it's not going to be. They delayed it. It's going to be out probably sometime at the end of next year. But again, it's a good MMO. It's very similar to New World as far as crafting and very open world. The action combat system, there's some good things in the game. There's a lot of bad things too, but there's some good things. And then you've got Arcade Chronicles, which I'm not interested in Arcade Chronicles because it's not a true MMO. It's one of those stupid I don't think it's a hub-based MMO, but it's one of those MMOs where you're gonna be able to group up with people and do stuff, but it's not a fully fledged open world MMO. So I have no interest in Arcade Chronicles. Ion 2 I'm pretty interested in because Ion 2 is a fully fledged open world MMO with kind of a tab targeting system that reminds me. It looks to me like a lot like Final Fantasy. I mean, when you look at these animations, they remind me a lot of like Final Fantasy, But I see a lot of stand-in-place animations, which I don't like. I see a lot of not moving, I mean, we saw the ranger moving, but that's a ranger. That was pretty cool. Like how you did like a throw, that body slam was kind of neat. It looks like a dodge ability. Yeah, but this one's, I liked the original Ion. I played the original Ion and I was a big fan of the original Ion. So I'm interested in this game quite a bit. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but we'll see. Blue Protocol, Resonance was, Blue Protocol was bought out by somebody else, and they basically modified it. Now it's being re-released as Blue Protocol Star Resonance. Not really interested in this because I don't really like, again, the flashy kind of lame combat. Not really my thing, to be honest. Not a lot of challenge. You can see you got this whole kind of like blasting through like tons of mobs at once. It just looks too easy. The combat system looks too easy, so looks kind of brain dead. Soulframe looks interesting. I mean, Soulframe is interesting. It kind of reminds me of like a Skyrim vibe to it. A little bit of a slower combat system with kind of like a Skyrim feel to it. But I don't know if this is it's supposed to be see, it says called an MMO Lite. I don't really know what an MMO Lite is, so that concerns me. I like fully fledged MMOs, so if it's not fully open world and it's kind of like a limited world or like a hub base, then I won't really be interested in that. Ashes of Creation is interesting. We actually probably should take a look at Ashes of Creation. Let's see. I haven't launched it recently. I did update it the other day. But Ashes of Creation's got a something that's coming out. Shit, hold on a second. I might have to log in though. Ashes of Creation has an update that's coming out, and I think Lazy talks about it in his video.
RPG with thousands of players per server and a huge mix of both PvP, PvE, and casual content. It also falls more.
Actually, it's not in this video. It's in this video that Lazy did specifically for Ashes of Creation, which is right here.
As of making this video, Ashes of Creation has been playable for about 10 months in its Alpha 2 state, but after hitting a big development milestone recently,
Okay, so here's the question here.
That brings us to the big question. Is now the time to buy into Ashes of Creation if you're on the fence and waiting for the right time? Honestly, it depends on your motivation. If your goal is to get in early, learn as much as you can about all of the systems, figure out which class you want to play at launch, and just be in a position where you've got a good understanding of the game before full release, then I'd say yes. As a content creator, I'm someone that intends to play hardcore at launch. This is my motivation. However, for me personally, I actually think the best time to jump into Alpha 2 Phase 3 will be November 18th for the Harbingers update, as this This brings some massive fundamental improvements to the game's progression with zone-wide dynamic PvE events. By then, the anvils should also be more fleshed out. Questing should be...
So you can see that this update is coming out in November, which is going to allow you to do fishing on the open sea. You'll be able to, like, I don't know, build ships or, be out on the water, like, riding your ships around on the water. There's different, like the summoner class is going to be available, and there's other stuff. World bosses, mules are going to be in the game. And then general polish, performance, zones, lighting. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming into this update in November, but I still think it's worth looking into. It seems like they're always doing updates on Ashes, because every time I launch the launcher, it's downloading shit, like every single time. You can see it says it's a file operation, but I just did a huge update to the launcher yesterday. So apparently since yesterday, they've patched some files. So that's a good thing. It seems like every time I launch the launcher, there's updates, which means they must be constantly making changes to the game. Anyways, but I think Ashes is one of those games, it's like, it's been in development for so long that it's almost like the gaming scene is passing it up, so to speak. What I mean by that is you get a game that looks really good. Like, imagine like what's a game? Imagine a game like even like World of Warcraft, right? Like vanilla World of Warcraft. If it comes out, or if you develop it in 2004, but it doesn't come out until like 2013, the graphics may look good in 2004, but they may not look so good in 2013, because by then, the technology's changed, and that's the problem that I think Ashes is having. That's also, I think, it's one of the reasons they went to Unreal Engine 5, because Ashes of Creation was originally developed in Unreal Engine 4, and they were in development for since 2014. I mean, Ashes of Creation's been in development. They did a reboot like 2017, but I think the original Kickstarter, the original beginning, I believe, of Ashes, was 2014, but I think the development really started in 2017. So they've been in development for at least 8 years, which is a very long time. And it looks like they're still going to be maybe another 2 years before release. So what's happening is technology is kind of passing them by, and that's why they did a switch from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, which was a smart thing. But the problem with that is the character models and a lot of the assets, the weapon skins and the armor and the clothing and all that kind of stuff was developed in a different engine, and it hasn't all been updated yet. So the world, like the textures, the trees, and the foliage looks like Unreal Engine 5, but the character models and the assets and stuff, a lot of those look like from Unreal Engine 4. So there's kind of it's a little disjointed, it's kind of weird, it doesn't all jive. It's like in World of Warcraft, if someone shows you a sword, like if someone gives you any kind of sword from World of Warcraft, like the icon, you can be, oh, that's a World of Warcraft sword. In Ashes, they might give you one sword, and you'll be like, oh, I don't know what, it'll look different than the one they generated in Unreal Engine 5. They're going to be so drastically different. So that's one of the problems that I think they have, and hopefully they get that fixed. Hopefully they can, update all the animations, all the models, because right now they're just not there yet. That stuff isn't there. So, but if we launch the Ashes of Creation game, because I've been in the alpha for quite a while, actually. I just don't play it that much. I mean, I play it on and off. Every time they do a big update, I play it, but it still needs a lot of work, basically. The launcher screen here, though, is beautiful, by the way, though. I'll let you know that. You see here my video card fan kicking in. So let's go back. While it's compiling the shaders, do we have that video? Let's take a look. So we got Ashes of Creation, which, you know, could be good, could not be good. It's hard to say. It's more of a zone control, so I think it's going to be very heavily PvP Gankfest, which I'm not really a big fan of. I think that could be a big problem with Ashes of Creation. Is this, and also there's a couple of things about Ashes that I really don't like. One of them is it's like map control, where you like certain guilds are to get together and they're going to dominate certain maps and they're going to control certain points of interest, which means they control like the taxes, which I'm not a big fan of tax systems in MMOs. I never have been. And I don't like that. I think cities should be controlled by NPCs. I don't think they should be controlled by players, because players are just stupid, and to be honest, and they do stupid things that just don't make for a good environment for everybody. So I'm not a fan of that. And because a lot of the world's zones are PvP, there's going to be guilds that are going to be heavily PvP focused. They don't want you to come into their zone that they control, and they're just going to beat the shit out of you, no matter if you're like level 2, and they're going to just trounce you. So it's going to be very ganky and kind of toxic PvP. This is what I believe will happen. We'll see. And then also they have their footholds or whatever. They're like kind of like your like own player controlled farmland that you like grow your crops on and stuff. Not everybody's going to be able to have that, so I think that sucks. I think only 10% of the player base, because those farmlands, those freeholds, are going to be in the real world. They're not instance-based, which means that not everybody's going to be able to have one, and I just think that's very unfair, and I think that kind of sucks. So you have this elite player base where they have 10% of the players have these freeholds where they can grow stuff, and you don't, and there's 90% of the players won't have that. So to me, that's not a very smart way to do it. So. And they updated it already again. So you can see the graphics look really pretty good in the background there. Here's the launcher. Like I said, the game, you know, the launcher looks really nice. Right. Character creator, you know. The characters are like, they're not, the quality of the character creator is not that great. I'm not going to lie. It's not that great. Classes, you got well, these are the races, the Dunir, and I don't know what's going on with that face. You've got the Nikua. That's, again, pretty ugly. The Empyrean, yeah, it's okay. The Parai. Yeah, and the Kalar. And the Vec. The Vec are very, I think the Vec are really cool looking. They remind me of like some sort of like old Fiend and Folio monsters from Dungeons and Dragons from back in the day. So they're pretty cool. But anyways, I'm not going to go in here and create one right now. I just wanted to show you guys that the game is playable. So I just haven't played it since they released the latest alpha phase. So it's kind of funny though, because you think about it, it's Ashes of Creation like alpha, what is it, like alpha 2 phase 3 or something? I mean, normally when you have a game, it has like a beta, like a closed beta, open beta, or it might have like an alpha and then a beta. How often do you play a game where you have like an alpha 2 phase 1, alpha 2 phase 2, alpha 2 phase 3? It's like, I've never played an MMO where an individual alpha has different phases. Not only an individual, like, because there's an alpha 1 and an alpha 2, and then each one of those has phases. That's crazy to think about, right? It's like, when are we even going to get to beta? So, but again, I think Ashes of Creation will be, you see, Lazy's got it as 2027 plus, and I think that's pretty accurate. I think we're going to see Ashes get released at the end of 2027 if we're lucky. If we're lucky. The end of 2027.
More into the Sand Park MMO category.
The other one that's interesting is this one, is Project Ghost. Now,
The studio led.
This is the first time I've seen really like footage of Project Ghost. And Project Ghost is, you know, is Ghost Crawler from World of Warcraft. It's the fantastic Pixel Castle, which is his company. And the one thing that impressed me about this gameplay footage of Project Ghost was the character controllers looked really good and the animations looked good. What I don't like about it is the art style. It's way too cartoony for my tastes. I'm kind of tired of cartoony. World of Warcraft's kind of, you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm really tired of that cartoony style. And the WoW art style is not my favorite art style at all. But you can see here, when this character, when you see the movement looks pretty good. Like the jumping, the running around, it feels very fluid. And this isn't even the best video for it, but here you can see some combat. You know, it's not the best angle, but there's been some like some of the content creators have played this already, and so if you looked in the background here, you'll see. Well, just look on the screen here. Co-Carnage, you guys probably know Co-Carnage. Joe Cat, Juno, some of the Josh Drive Hayes. You can pull some of these guys up. I'm surprised you got Josh Drive Hayes. You can pull up these guys' channels and watch some of this footage by those individual content creators. But again, the combat seems really pretty fluid. You know, like the movement seems nice, and the art style's not bad, and it's not bad. It's just not my favorite. Not my favorite. But for it being so early in development, I was surprised that Ghostcrawler was that far along. So I am impressed with how far that Ghostcrawler's, you know, how far they've got with the game. So
Ragnarok revealed at G-Star 2024.
Ragnarok, don't care about that. Bellator is interesting.
Upcoming PC
Been in development for a very long time.
only medieval MMORPG by Korean developer NU. This game's already been in development for 7 years. It's being made in Unreal 5 and drops typical leveling and classes for a mastery-based progression system, letting you develop combat or crafting.
It says it's a realm versus realm, which is interesting.
Specializations as you go. The world revolves around 5 noble houses in a constant state of political strife, PvP wars, crafting, and regional control.
But it's a very action-based combat system, as you can see.
Action combat with weapon switching, dodging, stamina management, and loot only comes from crafting or trade, not monsters. Korean closed beta testing.
That's weird. There's no loot for monsters.
The Riot MMO has been
The Riot MMO. We don't know anything about the Riot MMO, right? Release 2028?
been in development since 2020, but after hitting a creative roadblock, they reset the project in early 2024, with the Riot's co-founder Mark Merrill stating the team would be going dark for several years. At Worlds
Several years.
2024, Riot said the MMO is still alive and that the team now has a strong direction. Recent job listings suggest internal work is still ongoing, but we're likely still years away from this one and probably won't see anything public before 2027.
I wonder what that footage is in the background. Like, what is this footage from?
But we're likely still years away from this one and probably won't
I like when I looked at this, I just thought this was wallpaper, but it's moving. Like the grass here is moving. Is this like live wallpaper?
see anything public before
There's characters moving.
2027.
So I'm not sure what that
You
is.
may remember all the way back in 2018 when it was announced that Amazon Game Studios would be working on a law.
So Amazon's working on another Lord of the Rings. We got Warhammer Online, another new Warhammer, but we don't know if it's going to be like vehicles or fantasy based. We don't know. We do have Guild Wars 3, which is cool.
Guild Wars 3 is officially in development at ArenaNet, confirmed by NCSoft at a shareholder meeting in.
I mean, if there's any MMOs that are coming down the pipe that we know could be good, I mean, Guild Wars 3 would be one of them. I mean, Guild Wars 2 was a really good MMO. It just had certain things I didn't like. I didn't really like that the PvP rewards were cosmetic only. I felt like that's not wasn't a good decision. I think PvP rewards should be gear that is, makes you a little bit stronger. So it gives you kind of a reason to really go after it. But yeah, it's very, very early in development, so we don't know much about it. The other game that's really interesting is Light No Fire. I think Light No Fire looks really, really cool. So this is made by the guys who make No Man's Sky, Hello Games. And I love the art style. Now, this is an art style that I do like, because there's the cartoony art style of the Fantastic Pixel game, which was Project Ghost, which I don't like. I don't like this art style, the Project Ghost. I don't like this art style. But when you get to Light No Fire, I do like this art style. This just feels like it's not as cartoony. It's a little bit more realistic. It's just more stylized,
Fantasy survival sandbox set on an entire Earth-sized planet that every player explores together. This is being developed by Hello Games, the team behind No Man's Sky, and was announced in late 2020.
But I mean, this is very stylized. But what I like about this is that Hello Games has done such a good job with No Man's Sky over the past couple of years, and they know how to develop massive worlds. And now this is only going to be one world, but it's going to be a really big world. It's going to be a sandbox on one planet, but it's going to be a huge planet. And you're supposed to be able to just traverse the entire planet.
The goal is massive. RPG depth meets survival sandbox in a shared procedurally generated.
And I don't know if this is like in-game footage, but if it is, it looks absolutely amazing to me.
World.
I don't I don't know if this is in-game footage. I have no
what you
idea.
build stays out in the world for others to find.
But I mean, these assets to me are heavily stylized, but I like them. I think it looks
Light
really
No
nice.
Fire has been quietly worked on for
You know, and you can see that it is a crap. You know, it is a there's going to be a housing system, obviously.
over 5
So.
years and is shaping up
And
to
there's different like flying mounts. I mean, look at this hummingbird mount. That's pretty cool.
be an insanely ambitious project. No release date yet, but rumors say we could see it late 2025 or 2026.
So yeah, that's a game that when Light No Fire comes out, I would definitely be wanting to play this game. This would be a game that I would be very interested in.
Isn't is shaping up to be an insanely impressed. The gameplay in the trailer looked quite cool.
No, this
After playing the beta of Where Winds Meet, I was genuinely impressed.
and that's about it. If you go through the rest of these, none of these are really that appealing to me. You know, Vindictus, no, because most of these aren't your like fully open world. Now, sort of Justice Online is. Here, let's check this out.
This is the #1 most popular
Yeah, it's the #1 most popular MMO in China.
MMO in China, and I know you're not going to believe this, but it's not pay to win according to every source I can find. From the reviews and feedback, it's said to be one of the fairest big budget Chinese MMOs to date, with a cash shop comparable to Guild Wars 2. From doing some research, it seems like China is actually clamping down on pay to win games via government regulations, so that's good to see. Gameplay-wise, Sword of Justice Global is open-world wuxia themed with a flashy hybrid combat system. It's cross-platform on both mobile and PC. The PC version will have a more PC-style UI, and it's basically got all the MMO features you'd expect. Dungeons, raids, arenas, battlegrounds, and AI companions for solo players.
I've actually played this game. I've played the Chinese version of this game, and it was hard to play because it was Chinese, right? So I had to use my phone to try to translate stuff. But this game, the combat system is a little bit. It's one of those combat systems where it's very flashy, but you felt animation locked a lot. It felt like there wasn't a lot of movement. Like I wasn't free to move my character as much as I wanted, but that was only the character I played. So it'd be a lot. This would be one I definitely will play. Because when it's translated, when it's for English and it's global, I will be able to actually understand what I'm reading and see, and I'll be able to try the other characters. I had only tried one specific character, I think, maybe two. Maybe I tried two, but the graphics were fantastic. But yeah, it's definitely one that's kind of again feels like Final Fantasy combat wise. Very flashy animations, a lot of like animation locking. So
as for a release, I'd expect so. Maybe we'll see it in 2026.
Profane, not interested in Profane. Star Citizen, we all know about. Well, you should. PAX Day was pretty much a flop as far as like they just didn't feel like they knew what they were where their real direction of the game was. No, not interested. Most of these other games, I'm not. They're not really big, massive open worlds. What's this one? Oh, this is like a small one. Pantheon Rise of Fallen. We've played Pantheon before. Pantheon's pretty cool, but Pantheon's one of those games where I just felt like I definitely will come back and play Pantheon again. Because there's some things in Pantheon I really liked, but there were a lot of things I don't like. The combat was really old school combat. Very like EverQuesty type combat. Like old, like nothing really dynamic about it. The combat was kind of fun at first, but it felt like it got boring really quickly. This one here, the Monsters and Memories, I couldn't deal with the really, it was janky. The movement was janky. And the graphics were just so old style, not that great. So, but again, it's still kind of in development, made by a very small team. Not something I probably will play too much. I don't know this one, Spawn World. It's an indie MMO.
The game will also feature procedural NPC factions powered by AI that respond with dynamic behavior. Still early days on this one, but Steam Early Access is scheduled for Q3 2026. Looking at the early trailer, I wasn't too hopeful for this one, but seeing it's made by actual experienced devs that seem to be taking advantage of the latest tech, maybe it'll be a pleasant surprise. And RuneScape style. And the game's currently polishing up its combat and UI to gear up for more public tests around October 2025. This one's aiming straight for a full launch with story-driven quests and RuneScape's...
I think Eternal Tombs. I haven't played this one yet.
Eternal Tombs, previously known as War of Dragnaroks, is a sandbox fantasy MMO from Triune Studios that's taking a very unique approach to MMO design, with live dungeon masters actively shaping the world.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I remember this one now. I remember this one now.
With thousands jumping in, and the game's currently polishing up its
it's got
match. Features
live
include
dungeon
housing,
masters.
sailing, and non-target action combat.
Don't know
The game
about
is
this
still in
one.
pre-alpha with small play skills you use. It's still in closed alpha with the occasional playtest, and whilst early access was once planned for 2022, realistically it's looking more like late 2025 or 2026. Atlas. This is a wildcard pick. When I first saw it, I thought it looks absolutely awful, and despite looking like a low-poly furry RP game from the mid-2000s, it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam, so it must be doing something right. Atlas isn't a proper MMO, but it's a third-person action RPG, and the game's very recently came to Steam Early Access, and could be looking at a full release in
Bitcraft gets a lot of good reviews. Bitcraft gets a lot of good
Personally, I'd wait
reviews.
for more updates before jumping in. Small indie team
Quinfall.
with one actual developer.
No, this seems like a rug pull. So
To play as
this one, no, and then a lot of these other ones.
Development efforts have. The team had talks.
Yeah, the
about
Camelot and Shane that never really got anywhere, and then City of Titans. I don't know. Now he's getting to.
Been on every upcoming MMO list.
So this would be like a superhero game. Looks very much like City of Heroes.
Since its successful Kickstarter in 2013. The goal is to basically bring back the spirit of City of Heroes. Development efforts have recently been focused on upgrading to Unreal Engine 5.6. The game isn't currently playable, and there's no early access or release.
It looks like some not super experienced people making that, but.
Calling it a passion project and citing fighting fantasy and tabletop RPGs as inspiration.
So the other thing was, I didn't hear about this, but apparently there's a new EverQuest MMO in development.
Official confirmation that a new EverQuest game is in the works. It's not being described as EverQuest 3, but more of a reboot or reimagining of the original. EG7 has hinted at a possible launch window around 2028. Job listings suggest it's an online multiplayer title built in Unreal Engine, but beyond that, nothing concrete is truly known right now. Perfect New World. You may remember this game featuring on a few.
Yeah, I have no interest in Perfect New World. And then the other MMO that's coming is Terra 2,
No official announcement from
which I was a huge fan of. Terra 1. I think Terra 1 was one of the best MMOs when it came out. Like launch Terra, like when, the original form of Terra when it first was launched. I think it was one of the best MMOs ever.
On yes, but Invent Global, a fairly credible Korean outlet, recently reported that Terra 2 is officially in the early stages of development.
Yeah, so they're talking 2029. So what I'm trying to say is when you look at this list, there's quite a few games coming. Chrono Odyssey, Ion 2, Soulframe, Ashes of Creation possibly. I don't know about Project Ghost. Maybe. I just don't like that. I don't like the art style. Bellator's isn't really a fully fledged MMO, but still interesting. The right MMO obviously would be very interesting. I mean, there's a lot. Guild Wars 3, Light No Fire. I mean, there's like a good 8 or 10 games here that I think are definitely worth playing. And they're all going to be coming out probably within the next like 26 to 2026 to 2029 probably. So we'll, but like it always is with MMOs, you never know. I mean, these things could be they could be canceled, they could be flops. You know, for every like 10 games that they say are coming, it feels like only about 3 or 4 even make it. You know what I mean? I think I did watch Solheim's latest video where he claimed that it was like where Solheim was saying that the Turtle Wild thing, that he feels like Torda actually planned all of this, and they basically were pushing Blizzard's buttons on purpose to get them to try to come after them just to get more free publicity. To me, that feels completely like stupid, because why would you purposely put your own team members, especially the one guy who works in the United States, in that kind of jeopardy or that kind of situation? So that seems really unlikely. If that's the video you're talking about, Jared, that seems incredibly unlikely, right? So what he was saying in his video was here.
And they were doing whatever they could to get their attention. Now,
yeah, see, he's saying that basically Turtle Wow was doing whatever they could to get the attention of Blizzard, just to basically get more attention to Turtle Wow, so that Turtle Wow would get more attention. I think that's I don't really agree with him at all, to be honest. Because like I said, because there's certain people on the team that are going to could be hurt very badly by this lawsuit. So that doesn't seem to make sense. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there are a lot of games coming, and like I said, I like WoW, and I've played WoW since 2004. But man, I am very very ready to play a new MMO. I want to play something new, and I think a lot of us do, you know, and and also too, like I was excited to play Turtle Wild. I'm still excited to play Turtle Wild, but all the suing and the Blizzard lawsuit that's actually put a little bit of a taint on it for me personally. I'm like, ugh, it just makes it feel like we can still play and have fun there, but it still just feels like you feel like, well, what if they do shut down? That would kind of suck. Yeah, you put a lot of time into the game and they just shut it down. But anyways, let's not think about that too hard. I'm gonna take a break. I'm tired. I do want to play the Warrior, and I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, if I'm going to stream. I mean, I'm sure I'll stream tomorrow at some point, but I got to see what my wife wants to do. She may want to go out and do some errands, do some shopping, or go out into the woods, do a little spelunking or something. I don't know, do something, get out into nature. You said, well, yeah, they may not have thought they were going to do yeah, but that's probably true, Jared. And I think if Turtle Wild was trying to do that and just poke Blizzard to have them come after them, they probably definitely were not expecting the whole RICO Act or the whole like naming individual people in the lawsuit, saying we're suing you individual people. The thing that I think was brought up in one of the other videos, I don't think it was that Solheim video, but I think it might have been the Mad Season. I can't remember. Sorry, yawning. It was one of the videos I watched where basically they hired. Oh, it was an Astalrius team member. Remember, they actually what they did to the Astalrius team member. What I think was disgusting and completely, and I'm on the side of I'm not going to dance around the bush. I'm on the side of the private server developers because to me, Blizzard lost any rights to be considered. Sure, it's your property, of course, right? It's your legal property, which is fine. But you have, in my opinion, exploited the player base. You've exploited them for money because of your greed. You have not delivered on what you've said you're going to deliver. And you have basically pulled stuff out of the games to make the games a much worse environment to play in. The fact that they don't have active GMs in the actual games themselves to police stuff like RMT, to police stuff like botting, to even police stuff like people being toxic. Like Voss was talking about this the other day, like on the Moonguard server, how there was just all kinds of disgusting, nasty, like pornographic stuff that really shouldn't be going on in a video game. Stuff that was just not, and I'm talking about brutal, like evil kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Not just like sexting or some bullshit like that. I'm talking about stuff that's nasty, right? The fact that Blizzard has pulled that people out of those positions to actually kind of govern that, again, shows to me that they've let down. So they've let down the player base. I don't feel like Blizzard should. I don't think people should be on their side, is what I'm trying to say. I think they've given up the ability to be considered a good company, to be considered a company that cares about the people that play their games. And I think they've basically shit on the players of WoW for years, and I think they're just getting what they deserve to get. They've already made millions and millions and millions of dollars off all of our players, and so I have I don't feel for them. So what? Somebody's making money off your games. So what? I mean, you've made millions and millions and millions, and you continue to make millions and millions and millions of dollars off of World of Warcraft while employing employees at your company that you're underpaying and treating like shit, right? The people that work at Blizzard get underpaid. They get worked too many hours. I mean, just go. It's well documented. So not only do you treat the gamers who play your games badly, you treat the employees in your own company who make the games badly. So I don't have any respect for Blizzard as a company at all. And so for them to sue people and do what they're doing, I think it's disgusting. I think they're just a shitty company, in my opinion. They're a shitty company, and they're not a good company. And I'm not talking about the people that work there, so per se. I'm talking about the people that own the company. I'm talking about Microsoft. I'm talking about the board of directors. Those those greedy bastards are sitting up there on their millions and millions of dollars. Those are the people I don't like. Those are the people I don't like. I don't, So, so I'm not for Blizzard. I'm not on their side. I'm on the side of the private developers. You see people like Zaryu when he does his videos about, he's like, oh, I'm not for Blizzard or against Blizzard. No, that's fuck that shit. I am 100% not for Blizzard. Okay. Like some of these private server guys, like some of the stuff that Torta did with Turtle Wow, I don't agree with. I don't agree with him poking fun at Blizzard, making fun of Blizzard. I don't agree with him being so vocal about, hey, look, we have all these players. I wouldn't do that. You're using illegal property. What they should be doing is trying to convert all the art and the assets and customize it so that it's no longer really Blizzard's anymore. Completely customize all the models, the textures, everything. Just create all new stuff. And then at that point, it's pretty much not even Blizzard's game anymore. If you've completely changed everything and you have to pull out everything that has to do with Blizzard. And I think they can do that. I think it'd take a while to do it, but you probably could do it. And I think they are trying to do that to a certain degree. I mean, when you look at Turtle Wow's website, they've completely redesigned the Turtle Wow website. It doesn't even say Turtle Wow anymore, although I do think it says it down at the bottom, right here. So they need to get rid of this logo. But when you go up here, they redesigned. It doesn't say Turtle, it just says Mysteries of Azeroth. There's no like Blizzard logos anymore. I thought it was really interesting. They use this texture here because this is from an old 2004, 2005 era art from Blizzard, actually. But I mean, they've definitely redesigned the site in a way that it doesn't really feel like WoW anymore. It feels like something else. It feels like Mysteries of Azeroth, So, yeah, so there you have it. But is Turtle Wow going to be shut down? I don't think it will be. I think they might shut it down temporarily. I think a lot of people that work on Turtle Wow might be pushed out, so to speak. So what I was trying to say though is one thing that Blizzard did with Nostalrius, which was just disgusting, and it's one of the things that really makes me not like. I mean, I already didn't like Blizzard anyway, but if you go into Nostalrius Dev Talk, I don't know if I can find the video. There's the video where the guy who was behind Nostalrius put a video up. I can't remember. It's this guy right here.
What happened behind the scenes? Why didn't?
So this guy right here was one of the people, I don't know exactly who he was for Nostalrius, but he worked on Nostalrius. He explains, I believe, in this video of how Blizzard hired private investigators to come to his door at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, pound on his door, wake him up, serve him legal documents just to harass him. Right? And he's married. He said it scared him, it scared his wife. I mean, to me, those types of tactics are just the acts of a greedy, evil corporation. I don't think that's right. I mean, there's no need to do that type of stuff. They didn't need to come banging on his door at 10, 11, 12 p.m., 12 a.m., whatever. That's just not right. Again, is this guy in the right for creating something on their copyright, their property, their code base? I don't know. No, not really. It's illegal, of course, because you're using someone else's software. That's their software. So, but again, I just think the way they treated it was really poor. And as you guys know, there was a huge backlash with Nostalrius, and that's why Blizzard brought the whole Nostalrius stream and flew him over to California, Irvine, and brought him into the company. They did that as a rug pull. They did that as a what do you call it? What's the word? They did that as like, there's a word for it, when you basically do something just to calm down and make everybody feel good, but really, there's a word for that. I can't think of what it's called. It's not like a blue herring, but it's basically like the golden swan or something. I can't remember what the word is, but basically what you're doing is you're just faking them out. You're basically bringing them in, paying for them to fly over there, show them the office, and be like, oh yeah, we're all buddy. But it's just a way to kind of calm down the negative feedback that they were getting from the player base, because people were pissed at Blizzard because of how they shut down Nostalrius. It was a very negative look for the company. It was a very bad look for Blizzard. And now you've got this Turtle Wow thing where they're suing Turtle Wow. And again, it's a bad look, I think. It's a very bad look for Blizzard as a company. And I don't understand how anybody, like, there's people out there that, for whatever reason, they're on Blizzard's side. I don't know why they are. These people, they need to wake up and really understand what's going on. Blizzard is a evil, greedy corporation. They don't care about you. All they care about is your freaking pocketbook. All they care about is your money. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't care about you, right? And so, and they'll never care about you until you force them to. Only way to make Blizzard do anything is you got to talk with your wallets. You got to not play their games, not give them any money. They're never going to change their ways until that happens. And you know, that's why, like, when Asmongold went and played Final Fantasy and all those people left World of Warcraft, I mean, they panicked to a certain degree, and that's why Dragonflight came out as an emergency. We need to do something to try to get people to come back into our game. And so what they did was they looked at other MMOs that are out there and said, what are some things we can pull from other MMOs that are really cool that we think people would be excited about that can get people to come back and play our game? And they thought, okay, well, Guild Wars 2's got this awesome mount system with these like mounts that fly through the air and that have real like physics built into, there's actually physics to the flying. Let's pull that into our game. So, and then let's give players something that they've asked for years, which is a playable dragon race. Well, people have asked for that for a long time, but of course, it's a little bit too little too late. Dragonflight, in my opinion, was not a good expansion. And I don't give a shit. You basically stole Guild Wars 2 flying system, mount system. That's whatever, Anyways, I'm on my soapbox now. But so, like I said, I mean, I'm super excited to play a different game. I don't want to play any. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I'm so sick of Blizzard. I don't even want to play like a private server because I'm just so fed up with Blizzard of World of Warcraft. It's like Blizzard has put such a bad taste in my mouth that I'm super excited to play something else. And I hope some MMO comes out that's groundbreaking in the next few years, like completely groundbreaking with like very, very intelligent AI for the NPCs, very intelligent player-driven world events that are dynamic and constantly changing, that people can go into the game and be like, they don't even know what's going to happen. Maybe like they're in a city and all of a sudden the city is sieged by an army comprised of enemy AI, right? Stuff that's dynamic, that you don't even know what's going on, stuff that's very random. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities of things that could come out into MMOs in the future. They're going to make them a lot more fun to play. And I hope that some game comes out that's just going to blow everybody's minds. It's going to make everybody leave World of Warcraft in droves. Because when that day happens, I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off. Until then, people are still giving that evil corporation their money, and it's disgusting, man. It's straight up disgusting, giving these people your money when they don't care about you at all, man. I mean, Ashes of Creation, I don't think is going to be a great MMO, but I'd rather play Ashes of Creation because at least Steven cares about his game. At least he's trying to create a project that people want to play. At least he cares about the player base. I mean, he actually does. He's spent a lot of his own money putting Ashes of Creation together. And whether or not it's a good game or not, who knows? But at least you feel like the person who's behind it cares about the people playing the game. And you can see that because Steven goes and comments on like people's videos. If you put up a cool video for Ashes of Creation, Steven goes out there. He looks at YouTube. He looks at content creators. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have no desire to play old school RuneScape. I've never played it and I never would play it because I can't do that old graphics like that. It just doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I think, no, I mean, but I think Cerberus, I think that's part of the problem, Yeah, they don't have they had a passion for the games, but all the people that had a passion for creating games, that they're not there anymore. All those people that were part of the original Blizzard team, the people that had the passion for making games that not only they wanted to play, but they wanted you guys to play, me and you to play. They wanted to create a product that they could be proud of and that they would be proud for you to play and enjoy. Like, they had a passion for making fun games, and those people aren't there anymore. Those people are gone. They've gone on to other companies and other things. The people that are there now are just, they're just people that have been hired by Blizzard to just come in and keep their cash cow going, to keep the game running, to keep generating them money. They're not like, there's no people that with passion have been brought in to say, hey, let's go to the players and really make something that they really want to play. I think Light No Fire looks great. Yeah, I think Light No Fire is one of the ones I'm the most excited for, Jared. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, well, it's a sandbox. It'll be an MMO sandbox. So there'll be like, there'll be like housing and there'll be like crafting and gathering and exploration. But the world itself is supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, like massive. Like massive. If you guys have ever played No Man's Sky, and you fly around and you land on some of those planets. Those planets are pretty big, but this planet's supposed to be just absolutely massive. Like way, way, way bigger than like, Azeroth, I don't know if we have any good content on it. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another.
But I mean, when you look at the graphics, I love this art style. I think this art style is fantastic. It's kind of like a slightly low poly, very, very highly stylized, but just it feels like if you guys have ever played Horizon Zero Dawn, I loved the world of Horizon Zero Dawn. If you guys have ever played Horizon Zero Dawn, the world was really nice. It was nice to move through. It felt alive. The creatures and the robots and the animals you fought. It was fun. I actually loved that game. And I never played it a lot just because it's not really I like to play. It's funny, even though games like MMOs have lots of other players, if you ever watch me stream, you'll see that I don't really play a lot with other people, but I like the fact that those people are there. I like the fact that when I'm in this big world, there's lots of real people in the world. Even though I don't necessarily play with them, I do play with them on and off. Like I'll be doing a quest and someone will come up and say, hey, you want to group up? And I'm like, yeah, sure. We group up and we do the quest. Or every once in a while, I'll jump into a dungeon. I was like, yeah, let's do a dungeon, I like the fact that they're there. And if I'm playing a game where there's no real people other than just me, I get a little bit bored. Even if the game's great and fun, I still get bored. I like being in a game that has real people because if there's no real people in the game, I feel like, why am I playing this? Even if the game's fun, why am I playing this? I feel like I'm, it feels like a hobby. It feels like I'm out of touch with with humans. I don't want to be just some person sitting in a basement playing some game and with no human interaction with any humans. So I like to interact with real people. So one of the reasons why I like to stream is I like to interact with people in the stream. I could talk to them, get some feedback. They had like 5 people working on Classic. Yeah, they did. They did have like 5 or something. And now it's up to 40 though. Now the Classic team Cerberus is up to about 40 people. So it makes you wonder, what are they working on? Last I heard, the team's about 40 people. So they're working on something. Yeah, I never played Fable, but I always heard good things about Fable. But let's take a look at some of this. I'm super excited for this game. I think this game looks like it could be really cool.
Fireside chat. It has been a good long while since we've been able to give you any updates on the state of Light No Fire, and today we actually have some news to discuss.
So this is all in-game footage. And again, the character models are very stylized.
Starting this game. Now, this isn't breaking news. This isn't going to be the release date type of news that we're all hungry for, but at least Sean Murray himself is talking about it. And I want to highlight what he said and all of that so that if nothing else, we can keep the conversation around Light No Fire moving and grooving. So this kicks off with a tweet from PC Gamer. Sean Murray says the middle-sized planet of Light No Fire is going to have real oceans. The players will need large boats and crews to cross. And
see, you see what he said, Earth-sized planet. The planet is going to be huge. Like you can't just like walk from one end to the other in like a short amount of time. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I can't imagine like how long it would take to like walk all the way around the planet. I don't even know if you could, but it's going to be massive.
Just like clockwork, anytime in this game or anything regarding Light No Fire and also No Man's Sky gets discussed, you get a couple of people coming out of the woodworks to throw shade. Rightfully so. The person's name Shady says, this dude edited again, lying before the game comes out. Emoji. I have to say, an honest question, especially for anybody who's really into the No Man's Sky. Like, I've played it. I really liked it. I was quite impressed. I never felt lied to with Sean Murray, but general question, how many free updates does Hello Games and Sean Murray need to produce to have some form of...
Well, the one thing with the original, like No Man's Sky, was people kept saying, oh, he lied. Really, if you really paid attention, like if you have a brain, which most gamers don't, if you really paid attention to what Sean said, he really only lied about one thing. The only thing Sean Murray ever really lied about with No Man's Sky was people kept saying, can you play the game with your friends? And he said, oh yeah, you'll be able to go in and group up with your friends and play. That was really the only thing he lied about, because the game when it was launched wasn't in the state where you could play with other people. And he said you would be able to. That was about it. Everything else was people just sucking down the copium and kind of making up their own idea of what the game was going to be. Sean was very kind of vague about all the systems and things you could do in the game, but he didn't specifically say anything really. So it was just that one thing that he kind of misled players about. So people who thought No Man's Sky was going to be all this and, you know, and a, you know, and a, yeah, that was really their own fault. That was gamers just being stupid like gamers are.
I don't know, like being absolved of like this in the regards. Again, I don't ever feel lied to, but it does seem like, guys, it's you gotta let it go. The Snyderverse isn't coming. Life size planet, real oceans, all full life size, the full true open world, as he said when he announced it. But diving into it, the article states that the No Man's Sky Voyagers update means.
Why are we talking about No Man's Sky? Why is he talking about No Man's Sky when the video is Light No Fire? I mean, come on, dude. Talk about Light No Fire. That's what you titled the video, man. Why are we talking about No Man's Sky? Like this whole thing is No Man's Sky almost.
Shared Earth side.
Oh yeah, so most of the technology we're introducing into Voyager is shared with our next game, Light No Fire. So that's good. It's good that a lot of the technology developing for No Man's Sky can be reused, right?
Planet with real oceans to traverse, needing large boats and crews. We love.
Well, he did say that at a certain point. He said that, Jared, but actually that was disproved because what happened was when No Man's Sky first came out, within the first week it was out, there was a player who got onto a world and was on a certain spot in the world, and some other player happened to be in the exact same world at the exact same spot, and you could tell because you could look at the stream, both each individual person's stream, and you could see the physical geographical location was very obvious that they were in the same spot, but they couldn't see each other. So it was disproven. That was disproven very early that you would never run into people. So two players did run into, theoretically, they kind of ran into the same place in the game, but they couldn't see each other. Remember that? And so that right away proved that he was, that he kind of lied.
That we get to share this technology with the players early. And this echoes what I've been saying about this game, and especially with the No Man's Sky, game development. Every time Sean Murray starts to tease something, everybody who is in this waiting room for Light No Fire is sitting around going like, is he teasing that he's going to talk more about Light No Fire? And every time, different whole hype, something like that. Play it some more if
Light No Fire. That into what we know about the game itself. When Hello Games revealed
good old Sean Murray.
The Game Awards in 2023, the trailer set the tone.
Let's watch the trailer. Why don't we watch the trailer? Of course, it's got to be procedural. I mean, that's what Sean's known for. All footage in game. And keep in mind, this was a while ago. That was a couple years ago when they did this trailer, and look how good it looked then. Yeah, it looked really good then. So. Did you see that character head? Look at this character coming towards the camera right here. It's a bunny rabbit. It's literally a rabbit. This person's got a rabbit face and rabbit ears. Look at that. Look at that, dude. That's big time furry. Kind of cool, though. I like the hummingbird mount. That's pretty cool. So obviously the mounts don't have physics. You can tell the mounts don't have physics. They're more like old school vanilla, old school like flying mounts in WoW. Got a cool weather system though, like that. I think it's pretty obvious that any kind of stuff that's going to be in No Man's Sky you can expect will probably be in Light No Fire because it sounds like they're using the same game engine, There's the bunny rabbits again. Look at all these bunnies. And that character is a bunny. And that was from this was a year ago. Yeah, but it was December 2023. So yeah, it says a year ago, but it was really quite a bit longer than that. It was like a year and a half. Well, I mean, we're just about 3 months away. So
12 years ago, Hello Games burst onto the scene when it first. Of course, they are there. PlayStation 5.
Anyway, so yeah, I think Light No Fire looks really cool. But the point was, like I said, with Lazy's video, there's a lot of games coming, and I think there's going to be some interesting ones, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I think, and I'm hoping that some game comes out that's really good, that everybody wants to play, that we all want to play, and yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you looked at No Man's Sky when it first came out, it was that whole like No Man's Sky was this whole thing, right?
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
So what happened was, they created procedural stuff, and they have basically like each procedurally generated object is based on parameters, based on coding parameters. So they still had to tweak a lot of these coding parameters, obviously, because this is what some of the stuff that was being created was creatures that look like this, which obviously this doesn't really look like a real creature. You can see his legs don't. Doesn't look like the kind of creature that would really exist in the real world. So, and so obviously that's what AI procedurally generated stuff really is based upon. It's based on parameters. Like the game engine itself knows how to create certain things, but you have to give it parameters. And if you say you're going to create an ocean, it can only be so big. I mean, obviously, if a planet is a certain amount of size, you might not want an ocean that covers the 100% of the planet. So you may want there to be like there's going to be categories and subcategories. Okay, do we want this planet to be a heavily like humid planet with a lot of water? Do you want this planet to be more of a desert? And then based on that category, then there's going to be subcategories. How many different types of deserts, or how hot are they? Or what's the range of temperatures? What type of flora and fauna is going to exist in each one of these specific types of deserts? And so it's all comes down to setting those parameters for the AI, for the engine itself that's procedurally generating those things. And so obviously Hello Games at the beginning, they were pushed to release the game when they did, and it wasn't ready. So they've since fixed all those issues, and so now that they've kind of really skilled themselves up and become very good with their game engine. And because basically Sean Murray locked himself in a room for like a year and a half straight and coded it basically by himself. The guy's a freaking genius, right? He's a genius. And now that they've basically had time to really work on it and make it better, they're using what they learned from No Man's Sky to make Light No Fire. That's why Light No Fire seems like it could be so good. It's because he's taken all these lessons learned from this and he's translating that into his next game. And so it's gonna be starting off like like No Man's Sky was C++ rated game when they created it, and now they got it up to maybe A minus. Well, the next game is going to be coming out, and it's going to be an A+ game. So I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited for it, and I think the same thing. Like if you look at Fortnite, if you look at Unreal, if you look at Epic Games Fortnite was originally developed by Epic Games as a test platform. Like they developed Fortnite specifically so they could have certain tools in the Unreal Engine to do stuff like pick up inventory items off the ground, place it in, have building tools so that they could build. A lot of the stuff around Fortnite was done specifically to improve their game engine. It wasn't like they were trying to make a game that was going to make billions and billions of dollars. That was never the goal. The goal was to make a game that people could play and have fun, but they were trying to make a game that extended the tool set of the engine to do stuff it previously wasn't very good at doing. And they succeeded. A lot of the tools that they made for Fortnite became really good tools that were usable by other developers using the Unreal Engine. So that's the way Epic Games does stuff. They don't really make games for their engine specifically because they're trying to make money. They make enough money off just the engine itself. So when they make games, they're making games so that they can explore ways of improving their engine, because the engine is in the end what really is what the company's all about. It's an engine that they can give out to other people. That's how they're making money. So anyways, but I mean, that was just another example of, a company creating a game that now that they've created that game and learned all those lessons, now they can make the next piece of technology. Same thing with Hello Games. They made No Man's Sky. now with all the lessons learned they've learned from No Man's Sky, they've got all this new like knowledge and technology that they can push into their next project, you know. And this, you got to keep in mind that this is an example of a company that cares about what they're doing. I mean, they put out tons and tons and tons of free updates for No Man's Sky. Do you think Blizzard's doing that? Is Blizzard putting out tons and tons of free content for World of War? No, they're putting out expansions and they're making you pay a monthly fee. I mean, you know, so yeah. So I mean, you got to have a lot more faith in a company like Hello Games that they're going to put out a game that's of a high quality. You know, Blizzard's a piece of shit, so they suck. So everybody, you know, we just need to go find something else to play, you know, that we can sink our teeth into. That's going to be fun because, you know, Blizzard's had their day, and I think I'll be happy when World of Warcraft retail anyway is no more. To be honest, I'll be very happy. So, anyways, even though I still think it's going to go down in history as one of the greatest games ever created, because it is. So, I don't know where I ended up with that video. Lazy peon. Honor of Kings. Old school RuneScape, is it worth it? Why is everyone playing old MMOs? That is funny. Like that is pretty cool. Like this graph here, you see like new MMOs like New World and Throne of Liberty, and I don't know what that symbol for that one in the middle is. That's probably Chrono Odyssey. People aren't playing those. They're still going back and playing the old games. Final Fantasy, RuneScape, and World of Warcraft. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, I'll probably be streaming some WoW stuff probably tomorrow. Maybe continue leveling the warrior, or we could level the paladin. It just depends on what I feel like doing. Since there seems to be nothing else to play right now. Yeah, it was right by the frat boys drinking titty milk. Yeah, for sure. Oh my God. Can you believe that? Remember that the breast milk was missing from the refrigerators? That is so sad. What was that? Have you seen the BlizzCon? Let me find that video. No. Oh, I can't find it. There it is.
Hi there, Xantia from Kieran Tor. I love what you guys done with Little Crest. I love the fact that you have a lot of very strong female characters. However, I was wondering if we could have some that don't look like they've stepped out of a Victoria's Secrets catalog.
So the response by by these douchebags. If you look at this panel, like look at them all laughing. Like you got Jalen Brack, douchebag. You got this guy who got fired, douchebag. This guy's a douchebag. I don't remember his name. Most of these guys are just they're like the boy club, man.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Wait. Which catalog would you like them to step out of?
Could you see Sylvanas looking any other way?
Douchebag. And he's Mr. Cosby Sweet. It's just those guys just nasty, man. Those guys fucking anyways, those guys are just some slime, dude. Slime. That's the kind of people that were running Blizzard, driving it into the ground, man. I'll catch you guys later, man. Hope everybody has a good one wherever you're on the world. What are we gonna leave? What are we gonna leave you guys to? We need some sort of track. I don't know.